I didn't think I had any more green shirts, but I found another one. I have finally finished the last of my mini perfume samples. I can't believe it took me over half a year to go through these samples. I knew I had a lot, but I just didn't realize how long that would take for me to go through. I'm going to quickly talk about the 8 that I was working on in the last month or so. And then I actually have everything color coded, all 35 samples listed from like worst, middle, best. I don't think I'll go through each of them specifically in this video, but I will put some screenshots up with their names and my notes. If you wanted to pause and read any of them, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm gonna start with the 2 that I didn't like at all, and then I have 3 that were kind of in the middle, and then 3 that I really, really liked. One of my least favorites that I wore this past month was from Commodity, and it was the leather fragrance. I had like very few notes for this. All I wrote down was too strong. And yeah, it's just too strong. Even if they were to dampen down how strong that is, I don't think I would like it. I could just tell it wasn't for me almost immediately, so I guess I didn't even bother writing any other notes down. The other one I didn't like is kind of a relief. It's from Victoria Beckham. It's the San Ysidro Drive perfume, and it has a lot going on. Like, I had different notes or different thoughts throughout the day of wearing this. At first, it's very bright and fresh, and I was like, ooh, I might like this. It mellowed pretty quickly, which was nice, and then it almost turned creamy. Like, it just smelled, when I would smell it on my skin, it had some sort of like milky, creamy scent to it. And then after a while, I could like smell it on my clothes, and it does last, and it would smell like bug spray. I did not like that. And there were multiple times throughout the day, even when I was like laying down to go to bed, and I could still smell it. I would get like whiffs of bug spray. Did not care for that. I have 3 that were sort of in the middle of the road, and one of them is at the bottom of that list. It was my least favorite of the 3 in this category, and that's from Tocca. It's Cleopatra. This has a more mature scent to it. I can smell both the floral and the powdery notes, and it's just a bit overpowering. It's one of those scents that if a room smelled like this, I would think it was nice, but I don't like how this smells on me. Next up was Clean Radiant Nectar. This had a very specific scent memory for me. It had a bitter orange scent to it, which I'm not a fan of, but that scent in particular reminded me of something from when I was younger. Like maybe it was some sort of cleaner that they used in like the elementary school that I went to. Couldn't quite put my finger on what the scent was exactly, but I think that's really close. I also wrote down that this lasts a long time, so that's good to know. I don't really want to smell like an elementary school cleaner though for a long time. Burberry Goddess, I quite liked this one. I think it was really great for like the chillier, we had some chillier days, even though we are in the summer, where there was a lot of rain and it just had more of like a spring feel more so than a summer feel. I like how this lingered. I like how if I sprayed it and I was in a room, I could come back to that room and smell it very faintly, and it just had a sweet scent to it. I also put this on the sweater I was wearing, and then I put that sweater on again the next day and I could smell it still. I don't know if I'd necessarily move it up to like the top tier category, but it was very pleasant. Commodity Vetiver, I really liked this. Even though it was a bit of a stronger scent, I couldn't necessarily put my finger on why I liked it. Looking back, I don't know why I put this in the top category, but I didn't for Burberry Goddess. So I think I'm gonna change this to middle of the category. And then lastly, I have 2 absolute favorites. I really loved Wild Poppy by Nest. This was a floral scent. It was very bright. It woke me up when I put it on. It has a really distinct, unique scent, at least from all the scents that I've been trying so far. I think this would be a really beautiful spring and summer scent. And then lastly, this is Gin from Commodity. I don't know if I necessarily like the taste of gin, so I didn't have high hopes or expectations for this, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I was expecting like a heavy alcohol scent, but this actually smells very sophisticated, almost like something I would want to wear on a special occasion. I want to buy the scent right now. It's just so beautiful and clean smelling. I don't think that they sell this scent anymore. I went on the Commodity website and it seems like they've really pared down the different scents that they have. But if they ever bring gin back, sometimes they bring scents back, I think. So if they bring this back, I'll definitely pick something up. And one thing I like about Commodity is they usually have 3 different like expressions. So they have a personal, an expressive and a bold, I think, and each one is stronger than the next one. So I'd probably go for just like the personal one where it smells pleasant but it doesn't overpower everything. Out of the 35 that I tried, there were 8 that really stood out to me that I really liked. After learning how long it actually goes through these little samples, it's reminded me even more that going through my full-size perfumes is going to take a long time, and perfumes do expire. I don't want them to be sitting around for too long, so I'm not in the market to purchase any more perfumes right now, but I'm so glad to have a list of ones that I already know I really like, and I also have notes of why I like them, so when I am in the market for another fragrance, I have some things to work with. I'll list those out really quickly. 2 of my favorites from the first round were Amazing Grace Ballet Rose. My notes say that it smells fresh and a little sophisticated, kind of like I'm at a hair salon. It smells like nice smelling hair products. And this was my favorite of that month, is what I wrote down. And I also really liked Viva La Juicy Soiree. It was sweet but not sickening, like My Way. I guess I did not like My Way at all. Yeah, from Giorgio Armani, that was in like the lowest category. Didn't like that at all. But this was sweet but not in a gross way like My Way was. It smelled youthful and a little nostalgic, and it lasted all day. And I wrote down that I enjoyed it, but it's not for me long term, so that's good to know. In the next round, I really liked Replica's Beach Walk. This was something that I had tried out years ago and was kind of underwhelmed. And then trying it again, I am able to better appreciate it than I was before. I wrote down that it's soft but distinct, cozy, summery. It's not overpowering, reminds me of a fun beach trip from back in the day, because that's when I wore the original scent. And then in my most recent update, I actually had 3 top favorites. One of them was Vanilla Woods by the 7 Virtues. I liked that it was cozy and a little spritz was all I needed, and it was not too strong. I also really liked Besame's 1930. Again, this one was a sweeter one, had a bit of a spice to it. I liked smelling it on myself throughout the day, and my husband also complimented it. And then another one I really liked last month was Commodities Tonka. I got a lot of compliments when I was wearing that one. Again, I wrote down sweet but not too sweet. I think that's kind of like how I like my perfumes. And I did write down that I like other perfumes with Tonka in it, so I think that's just a note that I tend to prefer. I also recall going on a bit of a rant about how the Ariel perfume from Define Me, which was a Tonka-based perfume, used to be $68 on the Ulta website, and now it's available on the Disney Store website for $125. And then in this update, I really liked Wild Poppy from Nest and Commodity Gin. I really appreciated that people who knew more about perfume would give me information in the comments, and that through this research and through this exercise, slowing down and focusing on it a couple at a time, I was able to learn a lot about different notes and what I prefer. Maybe I do like stuff with vanilla in it, but it can't be like the main portion of it. Or I do like stuff that maybe has a tiny bit of powderiness to it, but I don't want that to be too overpowering. I don't like citrusy scents. I don't like stuff that smells too clean. I've just learned so much about myself in the process, and I think that's gonna help me when I do want to purchase a perfume in the future, make a much smarter decision than if I wasn't doing this. And it gave me an opportunity to work through a lot of these samples that had just been hanging around my house for years. I feel very relieved, and I feel like I've learned a lot from this experiment, and I just think that's such a beautiful way to end the project. I don't really have any plans to make any more fragrance related content, so if this wasn't your thing, I appreciate you watching, but I won't be turning into a perfume channel anytime soon. I hope you enjoyed this project, but in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video.